We're going to draw some perspective. We're going to draw a road and some phone poles and building going into the distance with some mountains and shadows and all that kind of stuff. We're going to do it really fast. You can't do perspective without a horizon that you're looking into the distance at. And so that is our distant horizon. It could be the ocean, it could be anything, but in this case it's just where your eye level is. And we're going to put 2 points. These will be our vanishing points. How about one there and one there? It doesn't really matter. You'll see what they do later. Or actually you'll see what they do right now. This is our road going into the distance. You know that classic V shape? We've all probably done this. You know, with the lines, and they get shorter and smaller as they go into the distance. So now I'm going to draw a reference line to along which we're going to run our phone poles. They're going to go right along this road. Matter of fact, let's shade in that road so we can actually see what we're doing. So there's a road, asphalt, black road. We need to have a reference line for the top of the phone poles too. Here will be the bottom and this will be the top. So what we'll do is we'll draw one pole in here in the front, and there you have rounded bottoms and all that little stuff sticking out of them like this, right, to climb on. And we'll just draw one cross brace like this. We're not going to spend a lot of time drawing a bunch. So what we need now is to put another one next to it. Now it's going to be bound by the rules of this point. Everything has to go to that point. So we'll draw another one between that point and that point on the line. Be a little thinner. There's a whole math to figuring out how to make things, space things as they recede into the background. But you can just fake it. Just make them look good. You can draw lines between these 2 points so that these are all identical. There are lots of little things you can do. So we'll just keep going here, and so on, and so on. And we'll just make these go like that. So there we have our phone poles. We'll put some telegraph wire on them. We'll make that one disappear out of the drawing. So there are the phone poles. Now what we're going to do is come over here and we're going to put a house on this. Maybe we'll make this a sidewalk. So this is actually the edge of the sidewalk, and here are your sidewalk concrete poured things, whatever they're called, sections. And maybe we'll draw a little walkway going from here to the house. So we know our house, we want it to be right about there, the front of it. So we'll just draw a point right past that. This is just a reference line I'm drawing. Maybe we'll make this house about this wide. How's that sound? Right about that wide. Where do we want that roof to be? We want it to be a 2-story house? Do we want to go high on it? Or do we want to go low? I think we want to go about there. That's our reference point for the house. So our house is going to all happen right, the front of our house at least, is going to happen right in that space right there. Everything going on in the house that's facing that direction is going to all be bound by the rules of this point. So what I like to do is just sort of, just put a bunch of lines, just sort of, to just get a good idea of where, what I want to put on this thing. And just, oops, I just realized I'm going to add a little walkway there. So that's our front door right there. And the top of the door would go, actually it falls right on the horizon line. This is the top of our door heading toward that point though. And if we were to put a window in the door, these top and bottom of that window would also follow the directions right to that point. And this is a window. We're just going to plug in here. We'll put a thinner window right here. And the bottom goes to the point and the top goes to the point. We can put in, a little side action there so that it looks a little thicker. We'll recede that door in there and make that look really nice. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put a side on the house. You know what? This is a little point. This point's a little close to the house. You'll see what I mean. So I'm going to move that point over here. And what I'm going to do is have all of this side of the house point to that point. So that gives us the side of this building. It's a coincidence I'm drawing that through that point. It's no bearing at all. So now we've got, this is the side of our house. And we could put another window. In fact, if we continue this on here and take this point and run it to the point, then we'll get the exact same depth on our windows. So we could put a couple of windows here. That would be just something like that. We could split them in the middle. The bottom of these sills would go that direction. You can see how that would work. This actually goes over there. This one would come here, straight up like that. So there we have those windows. Even if we could even split these in two. These lines are a little crooked because I'm drawing a little sideways. Now if we wanted to put a roof on this thing, just draw up from the middle. Maybe the roof's about that high. Why not? We'll go from that point to there, that point to there. Now this edge of the roof will go to the point, to the vanishing point over here. This edge of the roof will also go to that vanishing point. And yes, so will the top of the roof go right to that one point. This is a simple two-point perspective. We had a chimney coming up the back side of this thing, straight up and down. This part of it would go to that point. This one to that one. That would be our chimney sticking up there. Maybe we want to put another window right up here in the top of this thing. Well, we also want to put a little lip on that thing. So draw a couple of reference lines here. Maybe this is our window on top. It's a little off center, not too bad. Put an edge on this roof so it has a little bit of weight to it there. And that's pretty much it. Now if you wanted to put, actually let's fill in the horizon line now. Here's our little distant mountains. How's that? With some foothills. You can make some big mountains. And some clouds. Shade in these mountains. Now if we wanted to have the sun right about here, well, it would be casting shadows on all of these guys. All these phone poles, and then it would be this direction on this house. So this shadow would be actually a little bit fatter because it's blocking. These phone poles are a little light, you can't really see them, but they're there. I know they're there. There'd be a shadow under. The shadow would actually fall right in line with the vanishing point also, coming right along there, and all of this whole side of the house would be in shadow. Throw in some bushes, soften this a little bit, you know, maybe a tree. And that is perspective.